Hey Dan, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, BWOne? How are you?
All right, good.
Good.
As you can guys see here, we're doing FaceTime on the iPad 2. Where are you calling from, actually?
I'm calling from Brighton, Mass.
Brighton, Mass, right from your iPad 2 as well, right?
Exactly, right from my iPad too.
So we're doing it from iPad to iPad, which is pretty cool. This is Dan here. If you haven't met him before, it's probably the first time we've had sort of an introduction for you, sort of to our YouTube subscribers. But he recently wrote a written review of the iPad 2. And his first time writing a review, and I think he did a really good job. So I'll definitely comment and give you feedback on it. And what do you think of the video quality so far?
It's not bad. The only thing I could say is it's pretty bright behind you. So
yeah, I got a lamp right behind me.
It's not bad, and I think that, again, like I said in my review, I think the video quality is better than the still quality. But right now, it's not bad.
Absolutely. I just actually uploaded a video quality test on the. Just uploaded that from the iPad. Did some recordings. I definitely found the video quality to be good and actually better than the Zoom in terms of 720p in video quality. I think that the colors came out better. They popped out better. Had more sort of a nice sort of real tone to them versus the Zoom. But as far as still quality is concerned, definitely not there. I mean, that was like poor cell phone quality almost, you know.
Disappointing.
The Zoom definitely had it being on source as far as stills were concerned. Definitely the stills were very disappointing to see so far, and you'll see that when I do sort of the final video review that you'll guys see that'll accompany his review as well too. But other than that, kind of sort of they've read your review, but what is sort of speak sort of on your thoughts of the iPad 2 and sort of why you kind of waited from the iPad 1 to get the iPad 2.
Well, you know, it's no secret that I'm an Apple fan. I got the iPhone right here, so you know, I've been enamored with the iOS products, but you know, last time I got burnt getting the first iPhone, and then the 3G came out, and I was like, oh crap, I should have waited. So I decided to wait this time around, and you know, let Apple work out the kinks on the first generation, and you know, other than the still picture quality, I'm pretty happy with my purchase. So
definitely, I kind of feel that this is the iPad they should have came out with in the first place. This kind of feels like they had this and they decided to come out with something else. You know, it kind of felt like, you know, holding back stuff like a camera and really just making it a little bit thinner seems kind of, it doesn't seem like that update you normally get from Apple, but this is sort of that 3G to 3GS type of update where they really didn't have anything. And they just kind of came out with this sort of just middle of the road. I kind of feel it was a bit of a catch up to some of the other tablets that are out there, the Zoom, the Samsung Galaxy 10.1 tab, the Optimus tab, the other tablets coming out, the BlackBerry Playbook, the WebOS tablets that are coming with these dual core processors, you know, front and rear facing cameras, you know, the whole same spiel for all of them, Android 3.0, WebOS, or BlackBerry's new OS. I think it's called QNS. I'm not exactly sure what their OS is called. But it seems like they're all coming out with the same exact thing. And so it seems like they kind of play catch up a little bit rather than try to take it a step further.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you know, Apple's always got that, they have a way of selling hardware that may not exactly be up to par with you know, what else is out on the industry, and they try to make up for it with their software. But I definitely feel that iPad 2 is definitely kind of what should have been the first iPad. But you know, now that it's finally here, I think it's certainly, so far, at least for me, it's been a joy to use. So
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a question. What do you think about iOS? I kind of feel iOS is while it looks visually good, and I think when it first came out, it was definitely probably the top OS at that time for mobile OSs, but really there wasn't really that many mobile OSs out there. It was still a maturing market. I think Android is sort of feature-wise and customization-wise is sort of pushed past them a little bit, and I kind of feel that iOS is getting a little long in the tooth, and they really need to make sort of some type of great UI change to catch up to sort of Android and sort of notifications and really, real true customizations. I love hacking stuff and all, but I'm sick of hacking phones to get what they should include inside of it. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's a matter of personal preference, but I do agree with you. Looking at some of these Windows 7 Windows 7 phones, they got the really kind of sexy interface.
Yeah,
they look really nice. Unfortunately, I haven't had much time to play with them, but I mean, some of the offerings from Android coming out, and the Windows 7 phones, they look great. So Apple might have some competition in the future. I don't know how far they'd go to customize things.
Yeah, that's not a real Apple-esque sort of thing that they do. They try to keep things very streamlined to keep the user experience across all their devices pretty much the same, which is not a bad idea. That definitely keeps a high quality of product, but then you still want those guys that want to tinker around. So it seems like Android and iOS have kind of gone in opposite directions, where you can get very different experiences across different Android devices, but you can tinker and customize to your desire. Versus what you can do with sort of your iOS, where it's one streamlined and elegant ecosystem, as long as you stay within that ecosystem.
Well, it's just kind of I feel like that's just the Apple philosophy in general. You have these Android and Windows phones that kind of follow the whole PC paradigm, where you can customize it to your heart's content and do whatever you want. Apple's kind of, they believe their offerings are the best, and they stick to it, and they try to keep simplicity, at the forefront, but at the trade-off, I guess, of customization and keeping things simple. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely true. And one last thought, I want to get your thoughts on this too. I was speaking with a couple friends. We're talking about iOS and sort of how in their App Store, which now they have a Mac OS App Store, and they have the App Store in iTunes, that they can in iTunes App Store they can pick and choose who's in there. They're the gatekeepers. Even if you're a good quality app, but if it's something like a browser or something like an app that kind of competes with one of their apps, they can choose to sort of say now and tell you can't come into the App Store. I have a feeling that iOS is going to push past. I have a feeling they're going to rename Mac OS iOS and sort of make it one streamlined ecosystem where you buy one app and it works across all your devices, which is interesting, which I think is good in some ways. But I would fear that it would stifle some innovation and it would stifle some developers, because they can choose to say no, we don't want you on our platform. And now you can't get in any of them.
I mean, possibly. As far as the App Store goes on the Macintosh itself, I think the same rules are going to apply. Apple's not going to be wanting to sell porn or wares.
Yeah. I mean, that's understandable.
Right. But, I don't think that they'll actually... there will always be the web. There will always be other ways to install software other than their App Store, even though I think it might be a little bit more, perhaps financially viable to put something on the App Store. That way, if it's featured, any Mac user can browse it easily, and developers don't need to worry about word of mouth so much.
It's a very sort of Linux and Ubuntu kind of the way they work, as far as in terms of when you open up Ubuntu and kind of how you find software. They sort of have the depository right there for you, and you just install whatever binaries you need. It's like a lot of one-click installs. Something that Linspire tried to do a very long time ago. I don't know if you remember Linspire, Lindows, and stuff like that. It's very old school. Yeah. But okay, cool. So this was just a quick conversation here. We're using FaceTime. The call went pretty smoothly. We didn't have too many hiccups. I saw a little bit of a freeze on my end. I have a big light behind me, so that's probably why you see the camera up here. So it seems like I'm going in and out. You can see me clearly at one point. It seems like I'm washed out. That's really just the big light back there, but you can see me pretty decently. So the cameras do work decent for video chat. I would say they're pretty much on par and only really thing comparable to is Google Talk on the Zoom. And you can see our video for that, and it was pretty decent for that as well too. I mean, it's not HD video calling yet, which I think is the next step for a lot of these things, where we can get really crystal clear, sharp picture and image quality to take advantage of a lot of these, you know, screens that have these high resolutions on them. Much like the Google Talk on the Motorola Zoom, if I decide to go into another application, can you see me at all, Dan?
Nope, just says paused on the screen.
Just says paused on the screen. You can hear me, but you can't see me. So I wish there was a way you could put like just like a little window or some type of pop-up around, so you can still video chat and do something else at the same time. If you just wanted to check a website, or you wanted to change an iTunes song, whatever you were doing. You know, people on Skype, they're usually doing more than one thing. They're usually talking to you or playing a game or something like that. So, and that's kind of disappointing that that you're unable to multitask while on video chat. Hopefully that's something they open up in the near future. Right. So thanks, Dan. And we will definitely head over to read his review. We'll have our final video review up as well too. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page, follow us on Twitter, and always remember to live your tech world in high definition.